Terry, tell him, please, not to forget the paperwork I mentioned.
Yeah, all right. You ready?
Prepared, Terry. Prepared.
Andrew's waiting in the car. Oh, he said don't forget that paperwork you mentioned.
Well,
I'm not even going to ask.
in that case, I'll educate you.
Oh, no.
The first thing you've got to remember, Terry, above everything else, personal appearance, my son.
Go on then, I'm freezing.
Terry! Terry!
What's up? What's up?
It's Arthur. Come on.
Well, where is he then, eh? Lift? Oi, you all right, son? Come on. On your plates. That's it. What happened?
Oh, it's best you shouldn't know.
How is that, eh? Another drink, Dave, please. Not conversation.
You can always appeal again, can't you?
Oh, no, this is it.
Ruin. Financial catastrophe. You are fired.
Oh, thank you. You know, I do my best, but every time he has to pay a little tax, I'm fired.
A little tax. 20 grand immediately or I'm nicked.
Come on, I don't know what you're going on about. It's the first time that you've had to pay more than the pittance in the last 5 years that I know of.
10.
Yeah, you must owe him 3 times what you're going to pay him.
5.
You know, as an accountant, Andrew, you make a very good assassin.
Oh, thank you. I wish I had half of what I've saved you over the years.
Can't have helped much, you going in dressed like that.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Turn up in a Savile Row whistle, gold kettle on me wrist, silk shirt and Peckham from Jermyn Street, pair of handmade St. Louis, and then persuade a man I'm a pauper?
Oi, Arthur, they're not mugs, these people, you know. I mean, they get merchants like you in every day with stories like that, don't they? Look, they've got to have some idea of your income, right? So they can suss immediately that you're a wrong 'un who's trying to make out he's a dosser. I mean, stupid they are not.
It has worked before.
Yeah, but that is before Humphrey Greystone.
Humphrey who?
A direct descendant of that Spanish Inquisition mob, aren't they, Hans?
Yeah, well, the man is a zealot. Yeah, I've had dealings with him before, for other clients. See, I mean, horror stories I could tell you. He does not believe your sincerity to pay up until you go bankrupt.
Not that word, please.
Yeah, but why has he suddenly got lumbered with this Humphrey geezer?
Well, Humphrey Geezer is about to retire, and he's taken it upon himself to leave the Inland Revenue with his image intact.
What image?
Well, as a tenacious and rapacious hunter of tax evaders.
Avoiders.
Avoiders.
Her indoors ain't going to be too happy about getting rid of all the jewellery and furs, eh?
I don't want to add to your troubles, Arthur, but there have been a couple of phone calls. The second-hand said he wants £1,000 you owe him for goods various.
This is not the best of timing, Dave.
Freddie the Fly, he needs payment for 2 motors you had off him last week.
It's cruel. It's cruel.
There's only one way out of this problem, Arthur.
What's that?
Chop yourself.
Well, I don't know what you're laughing for.
But you can't be serious.
I'm deadly serious, with the emphasis on the dead.
Top yourself? You?
No, Dave's quite right. It's the only way.
Arthur, it's ridiculous.
We'll see.
Nah, he's got to be on a wind-up, hasn't he?
What do you think, eh?
More chance of being struck by lightning.
Mind you, he did phone up the Samaritans, you know.
You joking?
No. They hung up on him.
Sounds about right.
Hotel. Justin.
Oh, Freddie.
Arthur about, is he?
Arthur, no, I don't know where he is, mate.
Might try the mortuary.
Yeah. Or the river.
It's difficult, isn't it, sir? Well, pardon? Choosing the appropriate...
Oh, well, yes, as a matter of fact.
A loved one, was it?
Loved one? Well, yes, I suppose he has been very close to me all my life.
very close. Relative?
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, indeed. May one ask, is the departed to be interred or cremated, sir?
Oh, that's difficult to answer because he hasn't decided yet.
Oh, I see, he's not yet. May one inquire how long?
Oh, the usual length, 6 feet should do it.
Perhaps I should just show you our brochure.
No, that won't be necessary. What I was wondering was, say there were no remains, so to speak. Is there a procedure whereby one has to purchase a thingy to authenticate the fact that no, I don't think I'm making myself clear, am I?
If it's all right with you, sir, I'll just get the senior partner. He's very understanding about pre-bereavement shock.
No, I don't know where he is, no. No, I haven't seen him myself for a couple of days. Well, send him a bill, it's nothing to do with me. No, I don't know where he lives, all right?
You can send Mr. Daly in now, Mary. Mr. Daly, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
All right, are we?
Well as can be expected under the circumstances, Mr. Muir. The stress of commercial pressure takes its toll, you know.
Oh, yes, it does indeed. But no problem with the forces of law and order this time, I hope.
No, not exactly. No, it's more of a personal matter.
Uh-huh.
There is a time in the affairs of man when, if taken at the flood, you know. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is the tide is out.
I'm sorry, I don't quite follow you.
The fact is, I am here to make my last will and testament.
Oh, I see. Nothing, I trust it isn't any physical problem that has decided you on this?
No. It's more your mental condition.
Why do I have to be here, eh?
Friendship, Terry. Friendship, and I would hope understanding.
You've got to be mental if you think this is going to solve your problems.
Terry, please. Look, dying is a serious business. And as a personal favour to me, I would like you to treat the subject with some respect. If not for me, for those who are going to be left behind.
Well, I'm sure your creditors will be deeply moved by your departure.
Oh, that's another thing. I'm relying on you to pick up any money's outstanding to me when I'm gone and make sure Earl indoors cops it.
Am I listening to this?
Ask not for whom the bell tolls, Terry. It tolls for the independent entrepreneur, forced across the Stygian ferry by the evil conglomerates of bureaucracy. Excuse me.
Well, where are you going?
To select a point of departure. Somewhere symbolic, dignified.
You?
Where more poignant than the roof of the Inland Revenue. Oh my God, no. Oh no, I do not like the idea of that, Terry. I could change my mind halfway down and then what would happen?
You're not going down, are
No,
you?
you're right, I'm being driven.
Oh, do we have to go through all this codswallop?
Look, Terence, it's at a time like this a man needs to take stock of his life. Has it been meaningful? Has it been worthy? Has it been honest in a world bent on greed and corruption?
Honest, you?
Yeah, I like to think it has.
I do what?
It will it? Will it? And I'm sure I'm right to answer in the affirmative. Will it leave some small, honourable mark on a wall of time?
Oh, no, I thought it'd leave a big honourable mark. All over the pavement.
Well, I guess you wouldn't understand. You've never had to struggle to get a crust on the black market with bombs falling all round.
Oh, that again.
You've always been cosseted too much. Always had someone else look after your welfare. Someone like me.
You? I did bird down to you.
That's right. Taunt me with that. Taunt me with that. Never mind all the handouts I gave you. Earl abuse. Bury the hobnail.
Go on, jump.
Terry! You see, Terry, when you've grafted hard all your life, trying to tuck away a modest little nest egg to protect yourself against the ravages of inflation and the infirmities of senior citizenship.
Yeah.
And all that against the odds.
Yeah.
Dependents, thieves, charlatans. Well, naturally you feel a moral outrage when that nest egg is seriously looted by the Inland Revenue, just to pay for nuclear warheads and junkets for MPs.
Arthur, the taxman only after 20 grand, isn't he?
Only 20 grand? Like a Rockefeller. No, Terry, that 20 large ones is just the start. They mean to pauperise me. Even if I ended up sleeping on the embankment, they'd come and nick the newspapers off me back. There comes a time when a man has got to make a stand. Is this the main line?
I think so, yeah.
Hold up, look! Could have killed me.
I thought that was the idea.
Not like that. Too messy. Too messy. Perfect. Perfect.
God, give me strength.
Hey, I'm in here. Paid for by the gentleman over there at the bar. Hello, Freddie.
Hey, you seen Arthur about Dave?
You are far from the first person to ask me that question, and the answer is no.
You know where he lives, don't you?
I'm afraid not. I don't think anybody knows where Arthur lives.
Oh, Terry must.
I haven't seen much of him lately either. Well, you buying?
No.
On your bike then?
Ours has been a rewarding friendship, Terence. I have never let you down, you know that.
Oh, of course I do, Arthur.
Well, I hope you remember it in the days to follow, and do everything I've asked you to. And that is the last request of a man about to take that step, well, more of a plunge, in order to shake off the shackles of this mortal coil, so to speak. Go into that great dark unknown alone, totally alone.
I'm just stunned. I never thought for a second he'd actually do it.
I wish it was me that owed him money.
I'll drink to that.
Oh, it's bleeding lovely, isn't it?
What?
Well, a man's only been brown bread 3 minutes, and all you can worry about is a poxy dough he owed you.
Oh, don't get me wrong, Tell. Arthur would be the first to understand there's no sentiment in business.
I don't know. I'm feeling very sentimental about that lump of wedge he owed me.
And me about the monkey I had coming.
Well, I, for one, don't give a damn about the slate he hasn't settled up with me. I shall miss Arthur and all his little strokes.
Yeah, he was a one-off, all right. I mean, and when you think about it, we're all going to be better off. I mean, in the long run, we're all going to end up saving money, aren't we? You've got to give the man credit for that.
Let's drink to Arthur. To Arthur.
This is on Arthur's slate, isn't it, Dave?
Now, let's have a little respect, young man. Oh, Mr. Chisholm.
If only the devil could cast his net, eh, Jones?
I go.
Oh, what is this? You all look like you've bought something off Arthur Daly.
It's Arthur Daly who has bought you, Mr. Chisholm.
How's that?
Arthur is no longer with us.
What? Hasn't been nicked on some other manor, has he?
He's dead, you.
Suicide note. I, Arthur Edward Daly, being of sound if tormented mind, having been persecuted by this penal tax system that punishes the honest entrepreneur, harassed unjustly by certain police officers. If this gesture can help the cause of the persecuted. Dwight McCann, where is he?
Do you have trouble reading or something?
The only thing I believe in the papers is the date. Now, where is he and what's he up to?
It says here, Gov, that no body's been discovered as yet.
Oh, really? Jones! You do realise, I hope, Mr. Beadle, that technically you have committed an offence?
Really? In what way?
You shouldn't have touched this letter, let alone read and published same. For we, the proper authorities, have decided it would not jeopardise any investigation.
Investigation?
Into the circumstances of this so-called suicide.
The police were informed.
After you copied the letter, Are you telling me that you suspect foul play, Sergeant? I'm telling you anything, Mr. Beadle. Except that where Arthur Daly is concerned, everything is what it seems to be. Very suspect.
Sergeant Chisholm, you wouldn't happen to be one of the police officers Mr. Daly referred to in that suicide note, would you?
There you go.
John. Call me John.
Hello, John.
And you are?
Dave.
Well, Dave, as I was saying, there's a really good human interest story here. You know, something that the public can sympathise with. Big Brother's indifference to the little man, that sort of thing.
Arthur didn't have a big brother.
The state. Bureaucracy.
Oh, that, yeah.
Mrs. Daly was very helpful. She put me on to you. But she wasn't very informative about your friend. I imagine she's still in shock, poor woman.
We all are. Well, if you'd have known Arthur, you'd realise what unbelievable pressure he must have been under to do what he did.
Exactly, Dave, exactly. And that's why this angle, aspect, needs publicly airing. Your late friend made the ultimate sacrifice. He deserves that at least.
The ultimate sacrifice. You're right.
So, any background you can give me?
Well, you were a bit...
A bit what?
Well, not exactly sympathetic, like, you know.
The woman is Arthur Daly's wife. Has been for a number of years. You seriously think she isn't part of the conspiracy?
What conspiracies I think of?
Keep it up, Jones. Keep it up.
A what? A memorial collection? For Arthur? Yeah, I thought we could donate the dough to his favourite charity. What was that then? The Royal Association for Retired Entrepreneurs. RARE. Rare.
It's bleeding rare, it don't exist.
It does. I've often heard Arthur talk about it. Well, all right, then we could club together and buy him an headstone.
With no body to stick under it.
Well, a small monument then. I don't know, say a bust of Arthur with his hat on and a cigar jammed in his mouth and a few suitable words ramped underneath. You know, like Arthur Daly, King of the Duckers and Divers.
Are you mugging me?
Oh, of course not, Till. I'm serious. Quite a few of the chaps have already promised to put in. Honest.
Who's going to contribute? Well, I'll tell you what, who's doing the collecting then?
Well, I don't mind, unless you want to do it.
Me? No, I've got too much to sort out here.
Well then?
Well then what?
Well, how much you want to put in the pot?
Oh, well, how much everyone else putting in, eh?
Well, a couple of nifties, the odd pony.
Oh, hold on. There you go.
A tenner? Tell you was closer to Arthur than anybody.
And that's all I've got.
All right, mate. No one wants you to skin yourself.
But listen, if that don't end up where it's supposed to, I'm going to break your legs. You know that, don't you?
Oh, leave it out. Of course it will. Here, how comes you're taking the prices off?
Her indoors asked me to.
I was just inquiring how you found luncheon, Mr. Black.
Oh, quite easily, Mrs. Mount. It was placed on the table in front of me.
Oh, very witty, Mr. Black. But then, of course, with you being a writer, oh, it must be fascinating.
Yes, it does have a certain je ne sais quoi about... Oh, sorry.
Bilingual. Might one inquire exactly what it is one writes, Mr. Black?
Oh, words, you know.
Novels?
Yes, them and all. Goodness me, it's at the time. You must excuse me, I have to get back to the Muse.
Fascinating.
You bastard, you no good bastard. Oh, I should have known you. I mean, how could you do this, eh? I mean, have me believing it. God, I should have known, of course. You wait till I get hold of you, that's all. You just wait.
Listen, instead of this torrent of verbal abuse, I would have thought a note of joyous surprise would have been more in order.
It was vital to the schemes of things that you maintain the correct balance of
Dismay, dignity, and stoic forbearance in this your tragic loss. I mean, if you were convinced, everyone else would be, wouldn't they?
Convinced? Listen, do you know something? We had a wake for you at the Winchester, didn't we?
a wake. Did you really? Hey, tell me, Terry, who's at this wake?
Have you read the papers?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Tax inspectors read papers. Nice little convincer, wasn't it?
Arthur?
Don't talk directly at me. Pretend to be reading your paper.
I am reading my newspaper. But what is all this, eh? I mean, why couldn't we meet in a pub or something? You look like Groucho Marx.
Shh, Terry. I'm trying to be incognito. Don't nose it. I could be recognised rabbiting with you. Disguise or no disguise. Oh, my God. Do you see the way she looked at me as if she knew me?
Arthur, if you insist on behaving like one of the 10 most wanted, everyone's going to have a second look, aren't they?
What do you mean, Groucho Marx?
You know, Sydney, I imagine a really keen police officer could find almost anything he wanted to amongst all this stuff.
Is that a threat, Mr. Chisholm?
Let's just call it an observation for now, shall we?
And I'm saying, if I was pulled a stroke like you're suggesting to get out of paying me my wedge, you'll be among the first to know.
Come on, Jones.
Justine's doing that for me? Oh, that's nice. You certainly find out who your friends are when you're dead, Terry.
Yeah, well, when you come back to the land of the living, I want my 25 quid back. No. Come to think of it, I want it back now. And my out-of-pocket expenses.
Well, I can't deny I'm not a little hurt that you consider my memory worth only a mere pony. How much has he collected so far?
Yes, of course, Mrs. Daly. I'll be only too pleased to help in any way I can. Well, we all have to go on living, don't we?
She asked me to take the prices off all the motors and make sure she had all the MOTs and logbooks.
Aye?
Oh, yeah, and any relevant accounts or bits of paper that got anything to do with running a car lot.
Yeah, well, why would she do that?
I don't know. I could hardly ask her, could I? Maybe she's selling up.
Selling up my car lot?
Yeah, well, if you hadn't stuck her name down for so many things to dodge paying taxes, she couldn't do it, could she?
That is not the point. I've only been dead a week.
So what difference that make?
What difference? It's indecent ace, that's what it is. She couldn't, she wouldn't. She must be suffering from the most terrible shock. But look, I want you to go and see her and find out what she's up to.
Oh, all right, yeah, I'll give her your regards while I'm at it, shall I?
Yeah, no, don't be silly. How can you do that?
Exactly, it's none of my bleeding business, is it? And she'll be the first one to tell me. And I don't understand why you can't let her in on what's happening.
I'd love to, Terry, but I daren't. The slightest bit of aggro from Plod or the tax people, and she'd crack up and give the game away. I mean, she's a good woman, but she's, not very bright up here.
Arthur, she's your wife, for God's sake. And you're conning her into thinking you're dead.
Yeah, I know. It's dreadful that she should have to endure this terrible sense of loss. And that also applies to my other friends who loved and respected me.
Well, they're definitely feeling a sense of loss, they are.
No, I tell you what. Get hold of my accountant, Andrew, a bit cunning. He'll know what's going on. I don't want my death to ruin my living.
Terry, look, I know that you and Arthur were muckers, or, friends, mates, chums, close. But I have to ask you, what business is it of yours?
Yeah, well, we're also sort of partners, you know. I was just wondering.
Yeah, but it is no disrespect intended. But I mean, in a business sense, you were never really Arthur's partner.
Well, all I want to know is whether her indoors is selling a car lot.
Yes. Now, Terry, Terry, let me ask you something. Now, do you know what is meant by breach of confidence?
Well, yeah, but I mean, this has got nothing to do with that.
Good. I'm so glad. Because you will appreciate that I'm a professional man and I have to work within a professional code of ethics. Please. Sorry. Terry, do you want me to put myself on offer?
Eh?
Place myself within the frame.
Do what?
Look, do you want me to ruin my reputation by imparting privileged information?
No. Hold on. Look, you are Arthur's accountant, right?
Yeah, no. Was Arthur's accountant. Was. Now, I'm handling the accounts for his widow. I'm sure that Arthur, God rest his soul, would want it that way. Now, as an honourable man, what can I do?
Yeah, well, if you think about it, I mean, what difference is it going to make if I know or not, eh?
None at all. So why are you asking?
I just want what Arthur owes me. It's only right.
Well, you're going to have to wait until the estate is settled then, aren't you? Part of which is this lot, right? Which can't be touched until the court or whoever decides what goes where.
So I'll take a bit of gear in lieu, a few fridges, to tell you who's to know.
Me?
I'm warning you, Tell. If you and Arthur are doing all this
Look,
just
I'm
to
ever
try
so
and
busy,
not...
Sid, all right?
Mr. Black? Oh, Oh, Mr. Black, you're in occupation. I'm so sorry, I did knock and call.
Yeah, perfectly all right,
I
Mrs.
just
Mount.
wanted to check that Maid had tidied the rooms.
Yes, it's all very nice, thank you.
Oh, you're creating.
Oh, well,
Fascinating.
just a few rough notes.
Oh, for your new novel?
Oh,
It must be. Do you normally use hotel stationery to...
yes.
I expect you'll think that I'm terribly inquisitive, but I wonder if I might just have...
Oh, no, it is very rough and I do have to do a lot of polishing.
Oh, I'd consider it a deep privilege to be allowed to see how a professional writer works.
Oh.
I do a bit myself, actually.
Oh, really?
Poetry.
Oh.
I don't know if it's any good, of course. Perhaps I could persuade you to give me an opinion.
Oh, well, yes.
Oh, would you? That would be wonderful. You're so kind. May I?
Well, yes, why not? As a matter of fact, read it out aloud.
Aloud?
Yes. It helps us in the trade to get what we call the rhythm of the nuances.
Oh,
If you follow my meaning.
fascinating.
Yes, it is.
In memory of our dearest friend and benefactor, whose tragic and untimely death has left her indoors and his many, many friends bereft, distraught, and burdened forever with grief. May those who persecuted this noble and unselfish man not go unpunished for taking diabolical liberties. Oh, it's an obituary.
Well, no, it's more your in memoriam. It's a tragic postscript to one of the characters in my book.
Oh.
Well, what do you think?
Fascinating.
Well, I think that leaves only a few minor details to be settled with regard to the rest of the properties.
We do what we can, Mr. Muir.
Indeed. I'm sure Mr. Daly would have been the first to say that everyone must do what one can to help those left behind.
Absolutely, Mr. Muir, absolutely.
Incidentally, have you seen today's paper?
No. Oh, thank you.
Page 2.
Page 2.
Oh, don't you think you've gone a bit strong here?
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this bit about Arthur being an honest businessman who would always do someone a good turn before he did him a bad one.
Well, it depends how you read that, eh? Anyway, what's it matter about exaggerating a bit? Arthur was a lot less dodgy than most of them as gets in here. And why run the man down now he's a goner?
It's terrific, this, isn't it?
What's that?
Here, look. When asked about Mr. Daly's posthumous allegations, Detective Sergeant Albert Chisholm, a local police officer, declined to comment. Oh, dear, oh, Lord. You'll be wearing a beard and a cloak next.
You seen the papers?
Who hasn't?
Where'd they get that picture of me?
How do I know? I didn't give it to them.
See, you thought I was over the top with the bins and the tash, didn't you? But I was quite right to take precautions, as usual.
As usual. Of course you were, Arthur.
When we're exposed like this, call me Mr. Black. Mug shot in the media. God, where would I be now?
Oh, incidentally, Mr. Black, her indoors has been asking about the car.
Oh? Why?
You borrowed it off the lot, didn't you?
So?
So she's got a logbook and no motor. She thought it'd been nicked.
She hasn't reported it as stolen, has she?
No. I told her that I thought you put it in for repair somewhere before you
Well, get it. Come on, I want to know what's been happening.
Pieces you've been doing on the suicide, very good.
Thanks.
Competition's latching onto it.
Yeah, I'd noticed.
I think this could become a runner, even an issue. But I want the edge. So you can get some sort of statement from this tax inspector. What's his name?
Humphrey Greystone.
Yeah, that's it.
Where do our sympathies lie with this?
Well, I don't imagine many of our readers enjoy paying taxes.
I'm not sure that this Daly character's martyr material.
He can be whatever we want to make him.
9-day wonder, Terence. Nothing to get in a flap about.
Who's in a flap? I mean, it's 2,000 years since someone came back from the dead, innit? I mean, we're well overdue for another one.
Yeah, I must say I'm not all that thrilled having my boat on offer. But you see, tomorrow, I'll be yesterday's news. And meanwhile, at the tax office, my file will be shelved under defunct, deceased, done for.
Arthur, I'm beginning to think you really have gone loopy. What do you think Chisholm's going to do when you suddenly turn back up on the manor?
What can he do?
What about conspiracy to deceive, for instance?
Yeah, he's got to prove it. No, I've got a plan. An overall strategy.
Yeah. So did Hitler. And he had a real moustache. Come on then, what is it?
No, it's all in the development stage at the moment.
Like your brain?
There's nothing wrong with my brain, Terence. I didn't get where I am today by being... what's his name? Yeah, come on, tell us, what did you find out about the car lot? And, how's my memorial collection going?
I ain't putting no tenner into no memorial fund for Arthur. It's his lot that should be giving me money.
Right, I remember that, Sib, when they come round collecting for you.
Yeah? Do you want my opinion? I think it's a load of old cobblers. I think Arthur's about as dead as you are.
Come on, Justin. Sid's got a point, hasn't he? I mean, Arthur's leaping in the river like that's got to be hard to believe, isn't it?
You've had Chisholm bending your ear as well, ain't you?
Ain't we all?
Well, I believe it, Justin. And there's a score towards it.
Nice one, Freddie.
Well, once a couple of motors when it comes to friendship.
But the man is my accountant.
Was your accountant, which he made a point of emphasising.
I smell treachery, Terry. Treachery and deceit.
Funny that, I didn't know ghosts had a sense of smell.
You made a vow to me on my dying day that you look out for my interests. That was a sacred oath. Now, I want you to find out what's going on.
Arthur, will you get it into that thick head of yours? There's nothing I can do.
I want you to bung that in the Times in memoriam column.
You're kidding, aren't you?
No. All the top civil servants read the Times death columns, so they know how to box for promotion. Well, what do you think?
This noble and unselfish man.
Credibility, Terry, that is the name of the game.
Whose tragic and untimely death has left her indoors. Her indoors.
And then when Harold, that was my husband, passed over, I decided to sell the big house and have this part of the hotel converted into my own private quarters.
Very sensible.
Now, where did I put it? Oh, there they are. I call them Poems from the Heart.
Oh, strong stuff. Your patience, strong stuff.
Well, shall we sit down while you read them, Mr. Black?
Oh, yes.
It does seem so silly to keep calling you Mr. Black when we're so, well, sharing a common interest, you might say. What does the G stand for?
Oh, sorry.
G. Black, your Christian name.
Oh, yes. Graham Black.
Graham Black. Yes, it does have a sort of literary ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, yes, it does, yes.
I expect you'll think I'm very ignorant, Graham.
No, not at all, Mrs. Mount.
Do call me Daphne.
Daphne.
Only, is that the name you write under? Because I don't seem to have... Not that I get a lot of time for reading.
No, that is perfectly understandable, Daphne. You see, I write under what we call nom de plumages. Colours, mostly. Black, white, puce, green.
Green? Oh, you're Graham Green.
No, I ain't got E on the end.
You a writer? It's got to be a right dummy to believe that.
Well, I don't see why.
Come on. It's a lovely place for a meet, this, isn't it?
Well, what do you expect with my boat all over the front pages? Oxford Circus?
But it was you who said don't get in a flap, wasn't it? It was you who said 9-day wonder.
All right. Can I help it if I modestly underestimated the attention my tragic demise would attract?
That's nothing to the attention your reincarnation's going to attract, is it?
All right. The trauma of my own death caused the odd error of judgment. But what can I do? I mean, the die has been burnt, the bridge has been cast. Anyway, it may be dodgy, but it's not totally out of control.
You could have fooled me.
No, I can see it still has its advantages. In no way can my passing be ignored by the horrible Humphrey Greystone.
No, and in no way can your reappearance be ignored by cheerful Charlie Chisholm.
Sergeant Chisholm.
Sergeant.
Question, can you confirm or deny the allegation
just
that
have a
you
statement,
are one of the
Sergeant.
officers involved in harassing Mr.
Well, the
Daly?
police be holding their own internal
Do you feel in any way
inquiry.
personally responsible for Mr.
Right.
Daly's decision to take his life?
The lock-up for sale? My goods and chattels?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
When?
Next week.
Terry, what is going on?
I don't know. Look, all I know is what I see and what I hear, and it ain't much, I tell you.
I don't think I feel very well.
Well, own up. I mean, who ever heard of a corpse feeling too lively,
No,
eh?
no, Terry, please, not at a time like this.
No, we're talking about timing. I think there's something else you ought to know.
What, something else?
Well, Dave told me that Joe, you know that estate agent who gets in Winchester,
yeah.
told him...
So told him what?
It's probably not right, but it's, well, it's about your flat.
My flat?
Yeah, you see, this other mate of Joe's who's an estate agent as well, he told him that... He heard, you know, that, her indoors had put it up for sale.
My home?
Yeah, and, she's been making inquiries about retirement villas in Spain.
Ah, there you are, Gav. Sergeant Brightcott suggested I show you this. Said it might amuse you.
Show me what?
The death column. There's one there for Arthur Daly. Gave me the impression he was being a bit sarky, like, you know. Sergeant Brightcott, I mean, of course. Oh, and the super wants to see you. Something about making a statement to the press.
I want it stopped, Terry, and you're the one who's going to have to do it.
Me?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Put a court order on anybody who knows you, eh? In your name? They all think you're dead.
Yeah, but they haven't found a body, have they? There hasn't been an inquest, and one thing you can do right away, get hold of Justine on a van and shift all the stuff out of the lock-up round to his place.
Justin, are you kidding? You sell it quicker than the auctioneer.
Listen, a man who is sensitive and caring enough to get up a collection in my memory is a man to be trusted, Terry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, listen, the next time we meet, it better be in the hotel room. I better stay well tucked out of the way for now. If you get pulled by that poetess, tell her you're from a publisher, come to collect a manuscript, all right?
Yeah.
I'll be in my room.
That'd be the nice one with the rubber walls, wouldn't it?
Hold on, Sid. What? I don't know about this, you know. You don't really believe Arthur's dead, do you?
Oh, no, but you could have it right, Sid. I mean, dead or not, this still comes down to breaking and entering.
So how else are we to get our dough back, eh? Get hold of that. Hold it out.
Oh, there you are, Graham.
Oh.
I thought I heard you come in.
So?
There's something I'd like to discuss with you.
Oh, well, I'm rather busy at the moment.
Have you been reading the newspapers recently?
Newspapers?
Yes, there's been this story about some man who's committed suicide due to harassment from the police and the Inland Revenue. I only mention it because there's a picture of him. And I don't know why, but for some reason he does remind me of you.
Me?
Yes, there's a certain similarity about the face, wouldn't you say?
I see what you mean. Yeah, sort of double ganger. Who would have thought it?
Well, I certainly wouldn't, Graham. Or should I call you Arthur? I'm not a vindictive woman, even though you did try to make a fool of me with all that stuff about being a writer.
Oh, no, I really did like the limericks. Melody poems, very good.
As I was saying, I am not a vindictive woman, and I don't like paying my taxes any more than anybody else. But I do have my pride, upon which I put rather a high price. I'm sure you understand. Perhaps you'd like a little time to think it over. Shall we say later this afternoon?
I think it's enough, don't you? We are strong in it a bit.
Don't tell me, tell him.
Oi, you two, come and have a butcher's at this.
Well, I'm sorry, mate, I'm not interested. But why not? David tells me you were closer to Arthur than most.
Yeah, and Dave should know better than sticking my name up to reporters.
Sorry, Joe, I didn't think you'd mind. I mean, he is sort of putting half the side of it, isn't he?
No, that's great, that's terrific. But I don't want my name and my face all over the front pages, thank you very much. Now, you do what you've got to do, but leave me out, all right?
Listen, Terry, I understand how you feel. I've been a reporter a long time and I'm not stupid. And I've done my research on Arthur. So, the man was a bit of a scallywag. But then we all have to be in this day and age to survive. And there's a positive side to what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Listen, I know we can be a bit partisan, but we're also a major influence in stopping those who govern us from getting too complacent or dictatorial.
Yeah, when it suits you, yeah.
Sure, but in this case, a certain tax inspector, a one Humphrey Greystone, would not be retiring prematurely, and reading between the lines, that means resigning if it wasn't for us.
I haven't read that.
No, you won't for a few days. It's not official yet.
Terry! Phone.
Oh. It seems his masters are none too pleased with the embarrassing and unwanted publicity he's brought to the department.
Hmm.
There you go.
So, hello?
Terry.
Ah, it's me. Andrew. Yes, I'm at Arthur's lockup. There's been a break-in.
There's quite a lot of stuff missing.
Well, what are you doing there anyway?
I'm round here because I came to check the inventory I asked you to make up.
Yeah, for the sale you didn't tell me about.
I just do as my client instructs me to.
The thing is, I called the police.
You did what?
Yeah, well, they are here now, and, I think they want to talk to you.
About it.
Well, I don't want to talk to them.
No, he's a bit reluctant.
Ken, this is Detective Sergeant Chisholm. I want to talk to you, here or at the Nick.
Choice is yours.
Well, how about it, Terry?
Sorry, mate, I've got a deadline to meet. I'll see you later, Dave.
So, all right, I took a bit of gear in lieu of payment. I only nicked back what was mine in the first place.
You took a bleeding liberty, Sid, and you know it.
Well, I don't think so.
Don't you? Well, Chisholm thinks it's down to me. I should have known it was you, you slag.
Ron and Albert had their bit too. And it ain't me who's the slag. Arthur ain't dead. You know, and now we know it.
Oh, yeah? What's that supposed to mean, then?
It means you shouldn't have left little notes and hotel stationery in Arthur's lockup. Arthur screwed us, so we screwed him.
Did he? Arthur, it's me, Terry.
Well, thank God you're here, Terry. Come in, I've got a problem. Listen, you know the bird who owns this place? The one I told you about? She sussed me out.
Oh, she's not the only one.
I think she's going to try and put the black on me. I'm going to do the Hoffman in the hope that they won't believe I went... What did you say?
I said she's not the only one. Sid, Ron and Albert, they know and all.
How?
Well, you know that thing you wrote, the memorial thing?
Yeah.
Well, I found it in from the lockup, didn't I? So? Well, the fact is, those three slags only broke into your lockup and turned it over, didn't they?
What?
Yeah, they nicked half your stock, said you owed it to them.
Those dogs! I want them maimed, Terry.
Yeah, the thing is, you see, they found some of that headed notepaper, you know, for the Times, with your little reminder written underneath. Well, it don't take a lot to work out, does it?
So they know where I am as well?
Yeah, well, it never occurred to me they'd break into the lockup. The real problem might be that, well, when a bit diddler, and I'll give Sid a spank.
Good. Well, what's bad about that?
Supposing he gets in up and he gets on to Chisholm.
Oh, my God. Oh, Terry, don't just stand there. Come on, help me get out of here.
Come on, don't panic.
Why not?
All right, it's a bit of a slag, but I don't book him as a grass.
Listen, the man's a grave robber. He'd stop at nothing.
Now, hold on, look, if he'd done it, Chisholm would have been here by now, wouldn't he? Now, whatever's happened, you've got to think of a convincing alibi, soon.
What do you suggest? Reincarnation?
Well, listen, from what you say, I mean, the bird who runs this place, I mean, she might help, eh? If you were nice to her, you know.
Amnesia?
Yes, poor man. And his memory hasn't properly returned yet, has it, my dear?
Sorry?
Naturally, when I read the papers and I realised, well, I showed them to him, and it sort of jogged his memory, so to speak. Oh, dear, he said to me, poor old Charlie Chisholm. And he seemed most concerned that I should ring you straight away because of the way the newspapers had so falsely maligned you.
Is it my face? My clothes? The way I walk? Or do I look like an idiot? You seriously expect me to believe he wandered in here, nothing more than a wet suit, a total stranger, and you simply took him in, looked after him, without even trying to contact anyone?
Please don't shout, my residence. In the first place, I did not know whom to contact. And in the second, well, I expect you'll think I'm very foolish. But I am a widow, alone, as you see. And he did seem, well, he is a very nice man.
You won't get away with this, Daly. You won't. Do you hear me?
Mr. Chisholm? Is that you? Oh, thank God. Oh.
I've got to hand it to you, Arthur. You never cease to amaze me.
Not me. So what did it cost you to straighten the bird at the hotel?
Oh, she settled for the car I was using.
Is that all, eh? Nothing else?
Yeah, that is all, Terence. Which reminds me, I will not forgive you for trying to con her indoors into flogging you my car lot for less than half its worth.
Arthur, you were dead. Thought I was doing her a favour. I knew the poor woman would probably need some money on the hurry up, so I made her the best offer I could. I'm your friend. I even put in the collection, didn't I, Justin?
It's all right, Arthur. You did.
And what has become of this collection of mine?
I had a bust made up of you.
You did?
Yeah, Dave. Dave's got it. Why don't you show him, mate?
You sure?
Yeah, come on, Dave, let's see it.
Well, it's just that I can't find a suitable place to put it, you know. All right, I'll go and fetch it. There you go.
I knew you'd like it, Arthur. Bird I know goes evening classes down the art college. She made it up from a photo of you out of paper.
You parted with my memorial collection for that?
Yeah, well, actually, she's reckoned a bit tasty at the old sculpturing game. Well, I mean, you can see, can't you? Oh, and there's still the inscriptions got to go underneath. Tell thought that out, didn't you, Tell?
And what did you deem appropriate?
Arthur Daly. He dealt, he diddled, he died.